If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon to get the latest updates.
So, if you remember last class, we have created one pivot. If you remember, okay, so if I go to ME23N, okay, ME21 we have created meme. Okay, we have created the pivot, and ME22N is for the change, and ME23. So these all the POs and everything will be done by the MM people, but as an FI consultant, from the accounting point of view, we are only concentrating. Okay, any FI consultant, if you take, okay, we will be only concentrating whether the accounting entries are triggering properly or not with the integration of MM with FI. That is the general ledger accounting. Okay, see, yeah. So I'll go to ME23N. Okay, yeah. So this is the okay, last week we see that we have given the delivery date and we are procuring the 10 quantity of the material, and the net price is coming from the material master record. So if I go into the material master record, okay, the net price is triggering from the material master record. What is the transaction code I told to create the material master record? MM03 is for the display. Okay, MM01 is for the create. So every material master record will have some views will be there. So last class, if you remember that we discussed about the costing view. Yesterday's class, if you go back and see that we have discussed about the costing view. Why the costing view has to be get activated? Anybody can tell me? We discussed that class. Why the costing view has to be get activated for any material? Anybody?
For the material costing.
Cost estimator.
But the cost estimation, okay, for example, if you remember that, okay, so if you remember that yesterday, okay, we are discussing about one material, okay, so for that material, we have activated the costing view, okay. So what is the costing view? Costing view is mainly where the cost estimations are going to be done, okay. So for example, MM03, when I go to the MM03, for example, if I take this material, okay, so this material is having the accounting view. Accounting view is mainly for the triggering of general ledger accounting to the MM to the FI accounting entry. Then we need to activate the accounting entry one. The costing view is very, very important. Actually, costing view is very, very important for the cost accounting purpose. Normally, we say it as a cost accounting. So in the cost accounting, we can see whether the material has been done with the cost estimation or not. The cost of goods sold, if you want to know the cost of goods sold and the cost of goods manufactured, the costing view is a mandatory. It is a mandatory. Without activating the costing view, I cannot do the cost estimation, what is the lot size and what is going to be the kgs, whether it is a with quantity structure or without quantity structure. If it is without quantity structure, there is no need to do any material cost estimation. If it is a with quantity structure, then the material cost estimation is a mandatory. So we have done this material cost estimation. We saw how the cost of goods based on the cost component structure. In the same way, I need to activate an accounting view for any material because this is helps in the integration. Accounting view, if you are not activating an accounting view for any material, this material will not have any impact to the general ledger accounting. There will be no accounting transactions are going to be triggered for this material whenever you are procuring any raw material or what type of material. So if I select the accounting view one, okay, every material will be created at a plant level. So I'll be giving the plant here. I'll be giving the plant. Without the plant, the materials are not going to be created by, because we told that, okay, the plant is a valuation area. Okay, now here you can see this is what exactly I told. The standard price is going to be for every material. We are going to be giving a price. We are giving the price called as a 71.17 is the standard price. So that will be your quantity price. Per quantity, it will be the 71.17, and the quantity we are procuring the raw material 10 quantity. And here for this material, now we have to do the goods receipt. What is the goods receipt? Goods receipt is nothing but you are receiving the raw material from the vendor. So that is going to be called as the first movement type. You are receiving the raw material means it is a movement type. First movement type means you are, as I told you, that it is called as a goods receipt. It is going to be called as a goods receipt. We have two types of goods receipt. One is the goods receipt at the time of receiving the raw material, and another one, somebody can tell me another one, yesterday's class? Another one, again, we are going to be seeing some goods receipt. At what level you are seeing the goods receipt?
Production, when you're pushing it to production.
When
Finished goods.
finished goods, okay, when we are receiving the material, okay, so goods receipt at the time of receiving the finished goods, that is nothing but finished goods. There are two types of goods receipt we discussed. So when you are receiving the raw material, and when we are receiving the finished goods, both are going to be the different. But here the movement type is going to be the same here. Movement type means the materials movement type. One is moving the material from the vendor to our location, and the second one is moving out material from the production to the sales. That is different. So when you say it is the movement type, the first movement type will start from the receiving. So movement type for any receiving of the material will be always 101. Remember that. If it is the 101 movement type, means if you're taking a 101 movement type is nothing but it is something that we are receiving. Your inventory is getting increased. Your inventory is getting increased, whether it is a raw material or whether you are receiving the finished goods against the production order. So the movement type is going to play the major role. And what is the second one? The second one is nothing but, okay, valuation class. The second one is nothing but valuation class. Valuation class. What is a valuation class? Every material you can see here, every material is getting assigned with one valuation class. Every material, if you go to any material, if you go to the accounting tab and we have a one valuation class will be there. We have a one valuation class. What is this valuation class? Valuation class will help in determining the GL accounts. If you want to have some account determination of this material to your general ledger accounting, this valuation class is a very, very important actually. This valuation class is a very, very important. If I don't have the valuation class, you cannot determine any accounting entry at the time of goods receipt, neither any type of any transactions you're making with this material. You don't have any integration with your financial accounting. So the movement types and the valuation class, both of them, the movement types and the valuation class will help in determining the GL accounts. Now, let me go and do one MIGO. Now see here. Yes. Now this is the PO. You can see this is the PO. So the order is going to be delivering today. You ordered how much quantity? I ordered 10 quantity at the price of 71.17, and for which material group and which plant you're procuring and what is the material data. If you come to the item details, what type of material you're procuring, everything. Okay, so this is what exactly the PO which will be get created at the time of order. Now for this PO, let us assume that we are receiving some goods on 25/11/2021. 25/11/2021, we are receiving some goods from the vendor. Okay, so this is the material group and how much net, what is the quantity and the weight. This is the quantity and this is going to be the net weight. Net weight will be taken from the metal master only. Okay, if you see here, what is the weight we are giving here? Net weight will take from the metal master record, and how much quantity, what is the net weight, what is the gross weight, everything you can see. What is the schedule date? The schedule date is going to be 25th. What is the delivery? So the delivery is going to be happening for this material. What is the invoice? Whether you are going to do any invoice or not. Yes, invoice is the mandatory for me. Any conditions you are going to be applying, what type of tax codes are going to be applied, everything, the PO is going to be discussed this. Now I'll go and I'll do the MIGO. MIGO is nothing but you are going to be doing the goods receipt. So if I want to do the goods receipt, what is the transaction code I had to use? I had to use the transaction code called as the MIGO. So who will be doing this goods receipt? I am not going to do the goods receipt. We as an FI consultants, we never do the goods receipt. The goods receipt will be done by the MM consultants. MM end users will do the goods receipt, but we are only verifying whether the GL accounting entries are properly triggered or not. So I come to the MIGO. Now here, this account will be selected with your goods receipt because you're not seeing any display. There is no return of the goods. There is no cancellation of the goods. You're not issuing the goods to the production. Okay, you're not transferring any postings. So this is the goods receipt we are doing. So I'm taking the goods receipt, and with reference of the purchase order, I need to do the goods receipt. And what is the PO number? The PO number, I need to post the PO. This is the PO number. I'm coming to the PO number. Go back. Your PO should not be open while you're doing the goods receipt. Okay, I'm giving the PO as the reference because I received the material against this PO only. I received the material against this PO only. I'm pressing enter. Just press enter. What happened? Yeah. So if I press enter, I'm going to be seeing the delivery date, what is the delivery date and what is the posting date. And if you want to give any delivery note, you can give the delivery note and what is the material you're receiving, 10 quantity. If it is less than 10 quantity in the item level, you can go and change whether the material will be produced for the 10 quantity or less than 10 quantity. So you can give the posting date. I think the posting period should be open here. The posting period should be open. Very, very important. See, there are two types of posting periods are there. One is FI posting periods, FI posting periods. And the second one is going to be called as posting periods. Posting periods, very, very important here. So when I'm posting a goods receipt, I told that there will be two documents will be generated. One is going to be called as a material document number. Another one is accounting document number. Accounting document number. There are two documents will be generated. What does the material document will tell about? Anybody? What does the material document number tell about?
Quantity of the material received.
Quantity and price.
Quantity only, not price. Material document number will never talk about the price. Material document number only talks about how much quantity of the material you received. Accounting document will talk about the price. Accounting document will talk about the price. If you see here, you are ordering how much quantity you are receiving, 10 quantity, 10 into 71.17 USD dollars. So the quantity you're receiving is a material document number and 10 into 71.17 will go and hit to my accounting entry. So there will be two documents will be generated. One is a quantity material document number, another one is accounting document number. So FI will check both the posting periods. FI will go and check whether your posting period 11 is open or not. Whether your posting period is 11 is open or not. If the 11 is not open, I cannot generate my accounting document. Your accounting document will not be generated. Where you are seeing in OB52. In OB52 transaction. If I go to OB52, you remember that we discussed about the OB52, whether the period should be open or not. If I go and see what is the, okay, if this period should be open. So that is what exactly we're discussing. If the period is not opened here, if the period is not open, my 11th period is not open, I cannot post any transactions. So that OB52, but here I'm posting the goods receipt. For the goods receipt, the system will go and check the posting periods. Posting periods are maintained in MMPV transaction codes. MMPV. For example, see here. Now I'm posting on goods receipt. Let the posting period is 11th posting period. Let me see that. Okay. Now confirm whether you are getting the 10 quantity. Yes. Have you checked everything? The movement type is coming as a 101. You can see automatically the movement type is going to be coming as a 101 because you are receiving the raw material from the vendor and you have verified everything and you need to select OK. Yes, I verified everything. So where you can select the OK here, item OK. Very good. Item OK. Yeah, this is the item we are going to be receiving for the quantity 10. Where? From whom? Okay. The plant. Okay. Who is the partner? Vendor. Who is the vendor who is supplying the material? What is the purchase order? With reference of the purchase order, everything. Okay. I selected the item OK and I'll press enter and I'll check it before I post the transaction. Check it. Now here the possibility is coming. Here you can see error is coming. Posting only possible in the period 2021-7 or 2021-6 in the company codes. No, what you are given the posting date you are given at the 25-11. 11 is not open. Only the 07 period is open and the 06 period is open. Means your MMPV transaction means in the MMPV, when you go to the posting periods, only the 11th period, only the 07 period means 7th period and the previous period, both are open. Even 8th period is not open, 9th period is not open, and the 10th period is not open, 11th period is not open. You can post the transactions either in the 7th period or in the 6th period, not in the 11th period. It's a very, very important. So MM people, what they will do, okay, to avoid this kind of errors and everything, what they will do here, MM people, they will go to the MMPV transaction code, MMPV transaction code. They will give the company. This is what exactly close posting periods for the material master. You are closing the posting periods. Okay, they will give the company code. This is the MM, purely MM will do that. Nothing will be done from our side. Okay, to company code is also same. Enter next period, include fiscal year or a relevant date for the next period is nothing but if I see 07 is open, the next period is 8th period and the fiscal year is 2021. So here there are 3 options: check and close the period, 7th period, check only the period and close the period. So options have been given. If you want to close directly, you can close it. And I am asking Mahesh, please allow negative postings, negative quantities in the previous period and the negative values in the previous period. If any returns or something like negative values has to be get posted here. Do you want to post any previous period? You can select it. And then finally, what they're going to do, they're going to be executing. I'm not doing here. Why? Because this is the practical system. Might be MM people are working over here in this system. Okay, I know I don't want to disturb their practicals. Okay, so might be they have not opened any period because of the practice. So now when I execute, my 7th period will be closed and automatically 8th period will be opened for me. 8th period will be opened for me. So this activity will be done by the MM consultant over here. So once they open the 8th period like that, I need to open till the 11th period so that the system will allow me to post the transaction in the 11th period. Otherwise, it will not allow to post any transactions in the 11th period. The posting date is the mandatory. Whether the posting date is not opened, you cannot post any transaction. It has to be opened in both. It has to be opened in your FI, that is OB52, and it has to be opened in your MMPV for the material documents. Is it clear up to here? Anybody has any doubts before I go to the postings? Anyone has any doubts? Clear, all of you? Now, 7th period is open. Let me post in the 7th period. Okay, so I'm taking the 7th period. Okay, 7th period 2021. Document date doesn't matter. Document date is the creation date, but the posting date is a mandatory. The system is not allowing me to post in the 11th period, so I'm taking the 7th period. How much quantity? 10 quantity I'm going to be. Now go and check now. So item document is okay. Everything is okay. You have verified everything. Okay, now you can, if you want to give any delivery notes, something like any text or any reference, you can give the delivery note. Otherwise, leave it as a blank. Now you can go and post. I'm posting with the reference of this purchase order. See here, this is my purchase order. I'm receiving the quantity 10 now. Just wait it. And please make sure that, okay, the system will give your user ID here. Who has posted this material document? Who has created everything? The user ID is a very, very important actually. See, you cannot skip out from the SAP. Okay. Now see here, material document 500050 posted. This is the material document I'm talking. This I'm talking about the material document. I'm not talking about the accounting document. The material document, as I told you that now you can go to the display, and you are going to be seeing the latest material document number and press enter. So this is the material document number. In the material document number, it will never talks any price. It will only talks about the quantity of the material you are received. See here. And the total price is going to be the 711.17. This, where is the accounting entry for this? If I want to see the accounting entry, then I need to go to the document info. And in the document info here, you have a FI document. Now I'm going to see that FI document number. So in the FI document, you see there are 2 documents are there. You see there are 2 documents are there. One is the accounting document. Another one is the material ledger document. Where is the controlling document? Where is the controlling document?
There is no P&L account.
There is no Count.
Exactly.
Costing.
So here, when you are receiving the raw material from the vendor, okay, I told if you remember that, okay, 1 second. If you remember that in my previous session, if I go to my ME23N, here you're not taken any account assignment category. Here you're not took any kind of account assignment category. Account assignment category is empty. So what is happening here? So when you see the accounting entry, inventory of raw material account will become the debit and the GRIR clearing account will become the credit. See, if you see here, both are going to be the balance sheet accounts only. There is no P&L account. Inventory is a balance sheet account and the GRIR clearing account is a balance sheet account. So for this, I don't see any kind of accounting entries, my dear friends. You're absolutely right for that. Okay. I don't see any account. I don't see any controlling document here, because there are no P&L accounts as there. But if my PO got created with account assignment category K is nothing but a cost center. Where is the K? K is nothing but a cost center. So when I'm taking the cost center, when I'm taking the account assignment as the cost center, then the debit should not go to the balance sheet account. Debit always should go to the P&L accounts, because you are taking the account assignment category as a K. If you're taking the account assignment category as a K, then the system will ask you to update the cost center. So cost center cannot be updated to the balance sheet accounts. I'm right or wrong? Cost center cannot be updated to the balance sheet account. This is if you're taking the account assignment category as a K only, for example, then the system is expecting, P&L accounts. So which P&L account will become the debit? Anybody?
Consumption of raw material.
Yes, consumption of raw material accounts, because it is a P&L account. Consumption of raw material account will become the debit, and your normal GRIR clearing account will become the credit. This account will become the credit. Definitely 100% you are right. So your consumption account is getting debited. Consumption account, very, very important. Then for this, you will see a controlling document. For this accounting entry, you will see a controlling document. Why? Because the P&L account is coming. But for this, there is no controlling document. That is the reason. If you see here, if I go and see here, if I go and see the accounting entries at the time of creating, there is no accounting document for the controlling. See here, there is no controlling document at all. Material document is a mandatory. Why? Because you are doing the material, you activated the material ledger. If I go to the material, okay, if I go to the material, definitely 100%. Okay, if I go to the /NMM03, definitely you have activated the material ledger. If I go to the accounting tab 1, if I go to the accounting tab 1, definitely the material ledger is activated for all the materials. I told that now from today onward, the material ledger is the mandatory. So you have activated the material ledger for all the materials in the plant. So the material ledger is coming. So that is the reason I can see a material ledger document is getting generated for the valuation. And this is my accounting document. If I go to the accounting documents, now here you can see the inventory of material is debited and the GRIR clearing account is getting created. And if I go to the header, and this is what done with the reference of the MIGO, you can see, and the WE is the document type. WE is the document type for the goods receipt and who has posted when it has got posted. But these accounts are getting determined automatically. No, this is what exactly I need to understand the integration. These two accounts are getting determined automatically. We are not posted it manually, but how these accounts are getting determined automatically, that is what exactly the meaning of OBYC settings we are going to be doing here. OBYC settings. So how this account determination is going to be done. So if I go to the material master record, as I told you that the valuation class is going to be playing the major role. For this valuation class, we are going to be determining the GL account. So what valuation class you have assigned in this material? I assigned the valuation class called as the 3100 is going to be called as the valuation class. Now go to the account determination now. So SPRO, IMG, Where is the material master? Material management. Invoice, valuation and account assignment. Valuation and account assignment. In the valuation account assignment, you have to go to the account determination. Account determination. Okay. Before I go to the valuation account determination, I'll go to the inventory management and physical inventory. Definitely, my dear friend, this is the physical inventory. I'm doing the valuation. This is the inventory you're going to be purchasing from the vendor, total 10 quantity of the material. So physical inventory. If you see the physical inventory, here we see the movement types. All of you see here. Here you can see the movement types. So when I go to the movement types, copy, change the movement types. There will be at every material movement, there will be some material movement types will be get determined. So if you want to see the movement types here, we need to come to the copy, change the movement types. So select the movement types from the field selection. The movement type 101. I want to see the 101 movement type. So this is the movement type we are going to be seeing, that is going to be called as a goods receipt. Very, very important. This is what exactly the goods receipt. So create the storage location automatically. The storage location is going to be done automatically. Very, very important. So this is the movement type we are going to be seeing at the moment. Okay, very, very important here. And for this movement types, if I go to the account grouping, all of you, please, very, very important. For this movement type, if I go to the account grouping, this is what exactly I am going to be calling it as the account grouping. So when I come down, see, these all are going to be done for the account grouping. Okay, I'll tell you what is, okay, where exactly it will be going to be coming and how it exactly it is going to be displaying, because we are going to be displaying here. Okay, I'll show now. Okay, quantity is updated and the material document number is updated, and I can see that these all are going to be called as a transaction keys. You can see these all are going to be called as a transaction keys, and these are going to be called as a stock value. E is nothing but a stock value with a consumption. Okay, you're going to be E is nothing but hands-on stock, something like, okay, the material management people are going to be updated. I'm going to be check the account assignment, everything. Now, if I come to the integration point of view, physical inventory, anyhow, we are going to be evaluating that in the next one. Okay, goods receipt, we are doing the goods receipt. Goods receipt. Tolerance, we are, if you want to go for the tolerance, yeah, definitely you can take the, you can give the tolerance for this particular company code. Okay, wherever, okay, I want to see the tolerances. Okay, so I can give the tolerance. Okay, tolerance key is nothing but these are the three types of tolerance keys are there. B1, order price quantity variance, order price quantity variance, and the moving average price. So if I'm going to be taking the order price quantity variance for which company code? 1710. So lower limit is there, upper limit is there. Do not check means if you're ordering the quantity 10, but if you are receiving more than 10 quantity, or if you are less than 10 quantity, definitely the system will accept. Why? Because you're not setting the tolerance. You're not setting the tolerance. This is the value, this is the percentage wise. If you can take the value or percentage, doesn't matter. Okay, but anyone should be taken into consideration. If you're selecting as the do not check, then there will be no tolerance. There will be no tolerance on the goods receipt. Why? Because you are going to be receiving the more than 10 quantity or less than the 10 quantity. This is completely quantity based. I'm taking about the B1. B1 is nothing but order quantity. Very, very important here. We can see here order price quantity variance. Okay. So now when I go to the upper limit and the limit, okay, check the limit. If I'm going to be checking the limit for the value, if I'm going to be checking, yes. Now what is the value here? 10 quantity. 10 quantity, very good. Okay, what is the price? 71.17 is the price. Very, very important. It is the USD dollars. If the order quantity price, if you want to check the price, if the variation of the price is more than the threshold amount or less than the threshold amount, then it has to be get controlled, Mahesh. 100% we have this tolerance limit at the time of goods receipt. Definitely. How much? Whether you want to take in the value wise or whether you want to take in a percentage wise. If I'm taking the value wise, okay, 5% is the maximum tolerance limit. It is the lower limit. Lower, below 10 quantity. Now, what is the total price? 171.17 is going to be the total USD dollars. 10 into 71. So 171.17 is the total is going to be. If it is a lower price means if it is less than 5%, then it should accept. Less than 5%, 71.17 divided by 2 into quantity. How much it is going to be coming? Okay, 166.71 is coming. 5%. If it is less than, it should accept. If it is below 166.71, the system should throw an error. Why? Because I'm giving the tolerance limit as a 5%. Next one, upper limit. Upper limit also 5%. Upper limit also 5%. Means I'm giving the tolerance limit. 171 upper limit. Greater than. It is not less than. It is greater than. This is going to be the less than. This is going to be the less than. So greater than 5%. 5%. It is 176.71. Yes, it should accept. It should accept. Definitely it should accept. But if it is less, if it is more greater than 176.71, the system should throw an error. So do you want to keep a tolerance at the time of posting the goods receipt? You're going to be taking the tolerance key and everything. You can give the updated limit. It is only for the tolerance at the time of goods receipt.
Mahesh, I have a question here.
Yeah, please.
So this tolerance limit will work for price per unit or total price of the total value of the order?
Order price 71.77 into divide into 10 quantity. The price is going to be crossing more than that. It will go in error.
So suppose if they receive say partial quantity 5 only instead of 10.
See here. Now what is the price, sir? Here, what is the price, sir? 71.17. One quantity is equal to 71.17. If the price is coming, one quantity is equal to, if the price is below 166 points, so 66.70, it will throw an error.
Yeah, that I got. So it is actually per unit.
Per quantity, not here, per quantity.
No, if they receive only 5 units, for example.
Okay, yeah, correct. Okay, yes, but as per understanding, based on the pieces, yes, per unit price. Yeah, per unit
correct.
price. Yes,
yeah, right.
Okay. So tolerance limits are going to be checked at a company code level. So you're going to be giving the tolerance limit, and the tolerance limits are going to be checked at a company code level. So here you can see the company code. Okay, we are going to be setting at a B1 level, B2 level, and at the moving average price level also we are going to be setting. So we are going to be doing the order price quantity, and whether it is going to be the 25% is the upper limit. Okay, we can go up to 25%. There is no lower limit at all like that. Now, this depends upon the requirement of the client only. We cannot do anything. We cannot do any kind of price quantity setting and everything. The client will tell us what is the total price and what should be the control and everything. Now, when I come to the valuation and account assignment, in this valuation and account assignment, you can see there is a concept called as the account determination. In the account determination without wizard. In the account determination without wizard, here I'll tell one by one. Okay. First one is defined valuation control. I told that valuation. What is the valuation? Material valuation. At what level I can do the valuation? You can do the valuation at 2 levels. One is at a company code level. Company code level means only the legal valuation only. You cannot give multiple currencies. But there is one more is called as a plant valuation. You are activating the material ledger at a plant level, not at a company code level. You are activating the material ledger. What is the purpose of the material ledger? The purpose of the material ledger is nothing but valuating the material in different prices. How many prices? 3 different prices. But here, if you see define the valuation control. So valuation group code is active, valuation group code is not active. What is the valuation grouping? Valuation grouping is nothing but plants get together. Means if you have more than one plant or two plants, you're grouping the valuation. That is going to be called as a valuation grouping. That is what exactly in normal terminology we call it as a valuation modifier. What is a valuation modifier? Valuation modifier is nothing but group of some plants is nothing but a valuation modifier. Group together valuation area. That is what exactly in the second point I'm telling you. You're going to be doing the grouping. Yes, I'm combining all my plans. Okay, if that is the case, then group together valuation area. Your valuation area means simply you have to remember, my dear friends, valuation area is nothing but plants. Wherever you see the concept of valuation area, you're talking something about the plant here. So group together valuation area. So when I come to the group together valuation area, so if you have multiple plans, for example, if you have one, okay, so for example, you have these are the company code and 1, 2, 3, 4 plans are there, but only one company code. But if you want to give the grouping here, so 002 means this is the valuation modifier, means this is the grouping of all the plans called as the valuation modifier. I'm grouping all the plans into one. But individually, you can call them as each and every plant is nothing but one valuation area. But grouping of all the plant concept is there means, yes, you have to do the grouping. I give it the grouping here, 0002, 000002 is nothing but the grouping. This is only helps in determining the GL accounts concept. No, Mahesh, I don't want to do the grouping. Let the GL accounts determine at a plant level only. Very well, because I'm doing the material valuation at a plant level. Don't give the grouping, Mahesh. I don't have the concept of grouping at all. Very, very important, Mahesh. Please, please don't give the grouping here. Remove the grouping here. Okay, then don't give the group. Then you're not going to be using the concept of grouping of all the plants. So you're leaving as a plant. Next one, valuation class. What is the valuation class? Just now I told that. If you don't define the valuation class, if the valuation class is not maintained in any material master record, if you don't defining the valuation class and not assigning the material master record, then there is no GL account determination. There are 3 types of material we discuss. Example, in this example, we discuss about 3 types. One is going to be called as the raw material. We call it as the ROH. Second one is semi-finished goods, HALB. And the third one is finished goods. We are going to be talking as the FERT. And there is a trading goods also called as HAWA. Example. These are the material types. These are the material types. How do I know? How do I know what type of material it is? Anybody can tell me? Based on the description, can I come to know whether it is a trading goods or the raw material or anything? How do I know what type of material it is? While you're creating the material master record, very, very important, while I'm creating the material master record, the system will ask you what type of material it is. Okay, 0mm01, mm01. So it is asking material type, what type of material, whether raw material or semi-finished goods. There are different types of materials are there. So here the material types are going to be called as ROH, HALB, FERT. This ROH is for the raw material, semi-finished goods, finished goods, and the trading goods. Like this, we have some material types will be there.
So from the material master, can we find that what type, material type it is created?
Yeah, I shown it now. So if it is something like you have to go to this information tab. If you click on this information tab, you can see what type of material it is. Hawa is nothing, but it is going to be called as the trading goods.
Okay.
So this is the trading goods. So for the trading goods, I'm assigning one valuation class. You can see there is a valuation class in there. 1 second, please. 1 second. Okay. So here we are assigning one valuation class. For all the raw materials, believe, okay, so just blind understanding for all the raw materials, as per the SAP general practice, as the SAP best practice, raw material account determination always start with 3 series. Always remember that 3 series. And semi-finished goods always start with 7 series, 7-9 series, 7-9 series. And here finished goods always start with 792 series like this. Please remember, this is very, very important, all of you. if you see a raw material, always the raw material valuation classes should be start with a 3000, only 4 characters, or 30. If you have 2, 3, 4 raw material, 30002 like this. Here you can see in this example, the valuation class which I given is a 3100. Yes, it is the raw material. 100% the valuation class is a 3100. Now I need to go to the account determination. I need to go to the valuation class. Define the valuation classes. See, these all are activity. You are not going to do nothing about these valuation classes. Please, very, very important. Our responsibility is only to check whether the GL accounts have been properly determined or not. Okay. First one, account category reference. Yes, these are only the references. You can have your own references also. If you want to create, we can create our own references. These all are going to be called as the references. For raw materials, I'm going to be taking the reference of 0001 key. For all the semi-finished goods, I'm going to be taking this one. For all the references for the finished goods, I'm going to be taking for the non-valuated, for the trading goods. You can see for every material, we have a separate reference scheme. But the system should identify what type of reference key you are using. What type of reference scheme, Mahesh? For all this kind of raw materials, Mahesh, I am going to be assigning the reference key called as the 0001. For all the raw materials, I will take this reference of this 0001. If you see here, 0001 is nothing but raw material reference for all the materials. No, Mahesh, can I go and create a new one? Yes, definitely. For the raw material, if you want to create a new one, you can go and you can update and you can create a new one. Depends upon the requirement, but already the system is giving the reference for you. You can use this reference. Based on the reference, here you can see the valuation classes. These all are going to be called as the valuation classes. Now you can see these are going to be called as the valuation class, and this is going to be called as the reference. You can see all of you can take, this is the reference I'm going to be taking. Now, as I told you that in the yesterday's class also, I told that very, very important. 3 series always start with the raw material. So here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These all are going to be called, wherever you see the 3 series, these all are nothing but related to the material only, raw materials only. For all these materials, if for example, okay, now, for example, what valuation class you have assigned in the material class? That is 3100. Okay, right. Where is the 3100? 3100 is here. Yeah. 3100. What is the reference I'm going to be taking? The reference is the 005. What is the 005? It is the trading goods. Definitely 005 is nothing but it is going to be called as the trading goods. 100%. Okay, right. So I took the reference, okay, 3100. I took the reference of the trading goods, and this is my valuation class. This is the valuation class I assigned in my material master report. If you see here, this is the valuation class I assigned in the material master report. Very good. Now go back. More material type, account category reference. What is the material type we are going to be using? It is a HAVA. Our material type is always going to be called as the HAVA. Just now I shown that, okay, material is going to be called as the HAVA. HAVA is nothing but, HAW is nothing but, we are going, it is a trading goods. You have created the material type with the HAVA. Okay, now come to the material type, account category reference. Yes. Where is HAVA? HAVA is here. See here. Then I assign that reference here. I see the link. How I'm giving the link? My account category is a 005, and that account category I assigned to my material valuation class. See here, 005. The same reference of the valuation key I am assigning to my material type also, very, very important. So that see how the link has been given here, HAVA. So this is the main understanding that a FI consultant should be taken care here. Yes, this is the basic thing. If any link is been broken, then I cannot determine the account determination. See, the link has been given properly or not. Yes, after I loop the link, then I need to come to the configure the automatic posting. All of you see here. Configure automatic posting. If you come to the configure automatic posting, just cancel it. Click on account assignment. These all are going to be called as the transaction keys. These all are going to be called as the transaction keys. How do I remember, Mahesh? That is the practically challenging to everybody. As a consultant, if you are doing a regular practice or if you know the how to determine, yeah, okay, it will be on your tongue tip. No need to worry about all these things. How I'm discussing for inventory of raw material accounts, the transaction key is always going to be called as a BSX, the key. For the GRIR clearing account, the transaction key is the WRX. It is because of my practice and the nature of work I do in my company. Based on that, I can easily remember all these things. But how do I remember, Mahesh? For initially, how do I remember? That is the reason I prepared one sheet to you all of it. That is called as a client KDS document. I prepared one sheet to the initial people. This is what exactly. You can see this is the sheet I prepared for everybody. I given the what are the going to be called as the valuation classes and what key you have to use at a regular interval. You can see here, these all are going to be called as the keys whenever you're receiving the raw material from the vendor. I'm right. You are receiving the raw material from the vendor. If I go something like, okay, the first one, inventory postings, GRN, goods received, then you have to take a BSX. It is the balance sheet account. First one, first entry. BXX, inventory of raw material account is debited and the GRIR clearing account is getting credited. Both are there. So BXX is the transaction key for all the inventories and WRX is the transaction key for all the GRIR clearing accounts. Both are going to be the balance sheet account only. Both are the balance sheet accounts only. So here, when I come here, how this accounting entry has come, that is the logically we need to understand. Inventory of raw material account is debited and the GRIR clearing account is getting. This is the accounts. How these account determinations are done. Now we are going to be explaining that. So for all the inventory postings, it is going to be called as the BSX. Always, my dear friends, you have to remember that BSX is going to be called as the inventory posting. Whether it is the raw material or semi-finished goods or finished goods, for all the three. Double click on the BSX. Your GL accounts are always created at a chart of account area level. You have to give the chart of accounts. My God, this is going to be called as your valuation grouping. This is the group. Just now I explained that grouping. Okay, very good. So Mahesh, 136000000 trading goods, which is getting debited. Okay, very good. Where is that account? 136000000. Why the system has not picking this account, Mahesh? Why the system is not picking another account 35? Why the system is not picking this one? Why the system has picked only this account 1360000? You can see 1360000. Why it is picking? Because there are so many accounts are there. How the system knows that the system should go and hit to this account?
Valuation class 310.
Definitely, it depends upon the valuation class. How do the system know that this is the valuation class? Why? Because when I go and see this accounting entry, you're debiting the raw material. What is the raw material here? Okay, when I go to the raw material, this is the raw material. And in this raw material, you can, if you go and see, the valuation class was given as a 3100. It will go to the valuation class. It will go to the valuation class 3100. Whatever the GL account you have assigned, it's a balance sheet account. It is not a P&L account. This GL account will become automatically debited. Automatically, it will become the debited. Very, very important. Automatically, it will become the debit. And you have to ask a question to me. One more question you have to ask to me here. How do the system knows, Mahesh? 89 is going to be the debit posting key and 96 is going to be the credit posting key. Definitely. Logic is going to be the same. Here you can see the posting key. Here you can see the posting key. 89 debit. Whenever you want to debit 89, whenever you credit, I'm not talking about this credits. Whenever you're creating the same GL account 136, the credit will go to this particular. Now you're debiting the debit is coming with 89. So 89 is the posting key for the debit posting key. Rules, account modifier, plans, grouping of all the plans, and based on the valuation class only it has to determine. If the valuation class is missing in the material master record, Mahesh, please make sure that you are not going to be triggering this particular GL account. If the valuation class is missed in the material master record, I'm talking in the material master record. If I go and see the material master record, if the valuation class is missing. If you remember in my previous class, if you go my last week class, I told you one important thing. Goods received, but invoice was not received. Invoice was received, but the goods was not received. I told or not, all of you?
Yes, Mahesh.
Yep.
What is that? What is that? What is that? Two things I explained you. I explained you the for my MB51, MB5S and MB5J. I explained you the concept in very beautiful in the last classes. Goods received, but invoice not received. First point. What is the second one?
Invoice receipt, but not goods
But-
receipt.
But
Not goods receipt.
not goods received. What is this called as? What is this called as? Can I call it as a GRIR? Can I call it as a GRIR, all of you?
No, only goods receipt.
But in the second one, it is the invoice receipt is also there, yes, sir.
Yes, it is GRIR.
It's a GRIR.
Oh,
At the time of goods received, you are concentrating on the GR, goods received. At the time of invoice, you're going to be concentrating on the IR. So this is the goods received. Forget about the invoice received for a meanwhile. This is the goods received. You received the quantity of the raw material. How much quantity of the raw material? Everything I received here. Now I see that accounting entry is going to be the crediting. This is called the offsetting accounting entry. GRIR clearing account. It is the balance sheet account and it is the open item. It is a balance sheet account, my dear friends. It is completely called as the balance sheet account. If I double click on this account, it is a balance sheet account. You can see it is the balance sheet account. It is not a P&L account. And you can see in the control data, very, very important. Always you have to make sure that this is the open item. Because once you receive the invoice, it has to be get cleared automatically. It's a balance sheet account. It is definitely it is going to be called as the balance sheet account. You can see GRIR clearing account is getting created. For all the GRIR clearing accounts, the account determination key is always going to be called as a WRX. Where is the WRX? Here in this WRX, you can see here WRX. WRX is nothing but GRIR clearing account. This is not the account? See here. 211200. But the GRIR clearing account, it will not check any valuation class. It is the general modifier for any kind of GRIR clearing, irrespective of material. There is no valuation class here. So this is the GL account, it is getting picked. So whenever you do the GRIR clearing account and the inventories here, these are the automatic results. So when you see that the accounts are going to be missing, then there will be no accounting documents are going to be coming here. This is how the integration is going to be done. This is how at the time of automatically I can see the inventory of raw material account is getting debited and the credited. Mahesh, when you create a PO, okay, tell me, yeah, okay. Now when you create a PO, last class, if I remember, Mahesh, you explained us about the creating the PO with the account assignment category K. With account assignment category K, if I remember that you explained about the account assignment category, then the GL accounts are going to be created for the P&L account, not for the balance sheet. If I'm going to be taking the account assignment category as a K, Mahesh, this is the accounting entries coming. Okay, you are given the example for this today in the class. You explained about this BX6 and the WRX. But when I'm taking the account assignment category as a K, Mahesh, for consumption of the raw material account is getting debited. This is a P&L account. And in this, you explain two things, Mahesh. One is with cost element and one is without cost element. You have explained us. Previous class, with cost element. And the second one is without cost element. With cost element and without cost element, because raw material consumption account is the P&L account. For this raw material also, it is going to be taking the same BXX scheme, Mahesh. Okay, forget about the GRIR. The GRIR always is going to be called as a WRX only. But for the raw material consumption account, it is going to be the same key? No. Raw material consumption account, consumption. When you see the consumption, when you will see the consumption, once you receive the raw material, when you are issuing the raw material, when the goods issue has happened, you are issuing the raw material, goods issue against per production order. Production order, against the production order. When you are sending the raw material to the production order, then the moment type will come here. 261 is the moment type. 261. 101 is the moment type when you are receiving the raw material. But when you are issuing the raw material to the production department, you are moving the material from the storage location to the production. The moment type will start with the 261. So when you are issuing the raw material to the production order, then the raw material consumption account will come into the picture. So here, when you are taking the account assignment category as a K, raw material consumption account is getting debited and the GRIR clearing account is getting credited. But when you see the raw material consumption accounts with quantity and without quantity, one is BXX, BAY and VAX. BAY, another one is VAX. One is with quantity, that is with cost element, and without cost elements. As I told you that BXX is for the inventory and the WRX is for the GRIR. But now when you see the raw material consumption accounts, from here till the goods have been sold to the customer, COGS, till the COGS, so many accounting entries are coming. COGS. You will see so many accounting entries in between these goods issued to the till the goods have been sold to the customer. So many accounting entries are going to be coming. The raw material is getting converted to the semi-finished goods, and the semi-finished goods is getting converted to finished goods. So many accounting entries are coming. So the general valuation modifier we are going to be taking as a GBB. And this GBB is going to be having the different modification keys. Now what I need to do here? Now, when I'm taking the account assignment category as a K, very, very important, my dear friends. Come to the GBB. Always remember, this is going to be called as a valuation key. GBB is a valuation key. Here we are going to be using. Here, GBB. Offset entry for all the inventory postings. Offset accounting entry for all the inventory postings. If I go to the GBB, you have so many general modification keys are here. Here we are going to be called as account general modification keys are there. These all are account general modification. My dear friends, I told that if you do the practice with the help of this particular sheet, it will be very easy for you. I'll be giving this sheet to you, all of you. So when you are issuing the goods to the consumption, your raw material consumption account is getting debited and the inventory of raw material account is getting credited. So when you see the consumption, so here these two keys are GBB. Under the GBB, it is the VX. What is the VX? For goods issued for the sales order without account assignments. VAY is nothing but for the goods issued for the sales order with account assignment. If there is a cost center with a cost element, you have to take a VAY. If there is no cost element without cost center, you have to take a VAX. So here you can see here VAY and VAX. If we come down in the GBB, if we come VAX, okay, based on depends upon what valuation. So this is what exactly for 3100, you can see this account will be get triggered. If it is without cost elements. No, Mahesh, the GL account is with the cost elements. Then you have to go to the BAY and this particular valuation class, it will go and hit to this particular account. The one thing is nothing but you need to understand very clearly that which valuation class and which is going to be the general modifier is going to be understanding. First, initially, it will take some time to you to do the practice to understand the concept. That is the reason, if you remember that I'm giving all the accounting entries to you, I'm going to be providing all the accounting entries to you. So these are all the accounting entries. So MIGO, so BSX, WRX, okay. Second one, okay, WRX, when you are doing the return of the goods, invoice, GXX and WRX. When in case of partial transfer payment, okay, when the materials are issued to the production, I told that GBB, BBR, okay. Next one, goods issue for the production, GBB, AUF, cost of goods manufactured. When you are going to be doing the cost of goods sold account, BAY and GBB with cost element and without cost element and BSX. See here, very, very important, my dear friends. These all accounting entries are very, very important for us to understand. So there is a 100% there is going to be the conflict here. Some people will tell that cost of goods sold account is the P&L account. 100% Mahesh, cost of goods sold account is always going to be the P&L account. Now, let me come to this consumption. When you say it is the consumption, Mahesh, when you're talking about the consumption, now come to the actual consumption. Come to the actual consumption. When you're talking about, this is at the time of, okay, when you're receiving the account assignment category K. But Mahesh, when I'm receiving the raw material, when I'm issuing the raw material against the production order, can somebody can tell me when you're issuing the raw material against the production, what is the accounting entry? Raw material, consumption, account will become the debit. And which account will become the credit? Raw material, inventory, account will become the credit. See the difference here. Raw material consumption, because you are issuing the raw material against the production order, raw material consumption account is getting debited. Here you can see the consumption account is getting debited, Mahesh. So what is the account key? What is the account key I need to use when you are doing the consumption account? You're doing the consumption, am I right? Yes, consumption. So where is the consumption entry? Yeah, here. Issue the material to the production order. The moment type is the 261. The second moment type you are issuing. So raw material consumption account is getting debited and your stock account, inventory of raw material. Inventory means always it is going to be the BSX only. But when you're doing the consumption, when you're issuing the consumption, it is under the GBB, you're taking the BBR. So BBR under the GBB, you need to go to the BBR. Yeah, here in the BBR, you need to go and see which is the valuation. So 13100, you need to go to this account is getting debited. BBR. All of you have to remember this point, very, very important. So this is going to be called as a transaction key. Under the one transaction key, you can see these all are going to be called as the general modifiers. These all are going to be called as the general modifier, depending upon the nature of the transaction you are posting here. When you are receiving the goods, Mahesh, definitely Mahesh, the finished goods inventory account and the COGM. For COGM, GBB, AUF, a key. When you are doing the delivery, GBB, just now I told that BAX and BAY, with cost element and without cost element. Some, okay, if it is with cost element or without cost element, and the inventory finished goods is always going to be called as a BSX. So this is only the just sample example, but in the real time, you can see so many accounts are getting debited and credited. So like this, I given one screenshot to you. All of you, please. These are going to be called as the valuation classes, and whether it is a P&L account or balance sheet, and when should I take this account and when should I take this account, I give an explanation. This is the entry level actually, if you're doing the practice. It is not yet over. So tomorrow is also one class. I thought of doing the inventory today, but it is not completed by today. We are far away from the time. So tomorrow I'll continue the class with the same topic tomorrow, because we need to do the
Before
invoice.
going, a quick question.
Yeah, please.
For semi-finished goods, it will be similar to finished goods?
For semi-finished
like
goods, for inventory and yes, it is going to be the BSX only.
Yes, similar to, okay.
For any inventory, sir, you take any, if you're calling the concept as an inventory, whether it is raw material inventory or semi-finished goods inventory, or whether it is a finished goods inventory, BSX. Okay, I thought of completing today, but I could not done it because invoice is pending from we are only discussing the MIGO only. That is nothing but MIGO only. But invoice should be done. MIRO, invoice. Then only I can complete the complete cycle. Then I need to make the payment. Then I can complete the integration. So tomorrow we'll see the remaining topics about all these things. Okay.
Okay, fine.
So
Thank you very
Mahesh, the document, the one which you have uploaded, I'm not seeing that document.
This one, sir. This one, sir.
No, the other one, the P2P process also you have uploaded, right? If you remember yesterday, you told that it's uploaded, but
no, sir.
These
Here.
documents are not available.
No, assignment.
okay.
See here. Oh. I attached only the process flow. Okay. I'm extremely sorry. Now in front of you, I'll do this all the things. Okay. I'll be attaching this one also. Okay. Sorry. Extremely sorry for that.
Oh, no problem.
MM accounting entries and KDS means that Excel sheet. Okay. Remember that KDS is nothing but Excel sheet. Okay. Let me attach both of them. Where is the KDS here? MM accounting entries. Okay, one, and I'll attach one more also. That is KDS document is also important for us. Okay. Whenever I planned myself to complete this accounting entries and everything, I don't know what is happening. I could not complete within a given of time because it is taking a long time for me. Don't mind anything. Okay. So I'm extending the class for integration. This is the 8th class. Tomorrow is the 9th class. Okay. Don't take any. Okay. Right. So you can see here KDS document and MMFI accounting entries. You can go and see in the assignment tab. Okay. It's clear now?
Thank you for attending the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also, feel free to ask your questions in the comment section below, and we will reply to them at the earliest.